So we are on lesson 5, the number of grace. Some people say the spirit of unity, which I think we all kind of need still today, as always, as it is like a sign that we are of Christ, that we're all one and we love each other. But could you tell me what are like the key points or the summary and highlights for this lesson?
So, spirit of unity, I think, you think in terms of that God has given each one of us pieces of the puzzle. That in order to see the big picture, we need to be able to put that puzzle together. And so we need each other in order to be able to do that. So you may have pieces of the puzzle with things that you've learned that I don't know, and vice versa, and that's why we get together with Bible studies and do things, is because we learn from each other in that. When we decide that all I need is my Bible and me, then you get there are truths God can share with you, but there's other things you may interpret incorrectly and things like that. And it's through your interaction with others that can help correct some of those things and help you. Because, how many times have you been in a Bible study, or I know I have, is where you thought you understood the scripture, and then you go and somebody else gave a different interpretation, and you go like, wow, I never thought of it that way. I thought I understood that, but I bet that interpretation is the right one. And so, that's why we need each other. We all have these pieces of the puzzle, and it's through the Spirit working through all of us. And as we work together, that we come to that full understanding of God's truth that He would have us to have together. So that's that spirit of unity, that God gives each of us unique talents, and because He wants us to work together as one. And he gives us the power of His Spirit to do that.
To do that, right? And this is a thing that I'm going to miss, because it's our final lessons that we will do together, as you will not be doing this next year again. So, and I did appreciate some of the thoughts that you bring out that I never saw before, about injustice and love. I never even thought of it before. So I think even with us here, I've experienced where the spirit of unity is helpful. It gives you a piece. It gives me a little piece. It gives you a big piece. We're joining together, but it's been great. And I'm gonna cry that it's gonna end.
well, like you say, it's like each of us have played a part in this journey. Like we said, we started out with Brother Wade Rose giving us that sense of the vision. We in last year, when Jason and I have helped with this focus on Jesus that we've done this year, and then next year we're going to focus on the Great Commission, and David Ross is going to lead us through that journey. So each of us have played, a role in this, a piece of the puzzle, and it's we're coming to the end of this journey with Jason and I.
Right there, can you see? I'm hearing the spirit of unity.
The spirit of unity, right? Yeah, so we certainly do miss Jason, and but it's neat that each of us has something to contribute. And that we can all learn from each other in that spirit of unity.
Okay, so man, I have a question for this particular lesson. Is it possible to have the spirit but not have unity?
That's a pretty easy question.
Oh, good. Okay, you have 30 seconds.
Because it talks over and over in Scripture about the oneness of Spirit, the unity of Spirit, that we are one body, and that each of us have different roles to play. But so you say, well, does a body, can it survive without a toe, or without a hand, or without yes, it can, but not without a sense of loss, a sense of pain, a sense of grief. That there is that sense of loss. And so the body is healthy. The body is feels that unity, that health, when it works together as one. So one of the lessons that we talked about of course, we talked about already about Miriam and Moses, where Miriam says, well, doesn't God work through all of us? Why do we need to follow Moses? That it's that failure to recognize that God has given each of us roles to play, and we need to support each other in those roles. That you lead in one area, I lead in another area, and it's that spirit of mutual submission, as we all have that same spirit of unity. And in the third quarter, we talked about this individualism, and it's that we want to celebrate individuality of the uniqueness that each of us have, but we do that not through individualism, where we're alone and doing things on our own. We do that through that sense of community and that sense of working together as well.
Right. So I was also thinking, if I claim that I have the Spirit of God, and you have the Spirit of God, and we can't be one, I really question if we both actually have the Spirit of God. Either I do or you don't, or vice versa. But I think all that you just explained, right, is that if you really do have the Spirit of God and you have your peace, then you will want to join with the other brother that has his peace because of the Spirit itself, right? And then the grace that the Spirit has given you in a certain gifting or not, right? So I think as a concluding lesson on the spirit of unity, I think we've covered a whole lot of things over the 3 quarters or 4 quarters, and now we can start to develop this attitude of the spirit of unity. Right? So, good. So let's go to the next lesson.
Okay.